よろしくお願いします。先輩。
Guys, so today we're gonna be talking about Walya. If you guys don't already know who Walya is, she's a top tier support. She's rank 1 in Asia and rank 3 in Korea. When she was just released in Korea, she was the rank 1 mercenary for some time, and up until now, she's still very strong even with the changing meta. That's hard to say for a lot of other characters. For new players, Walya is probably one of my first recommendations to invest in. She doesn't need to be plus 10 or plus 9. That's great, but she doesn't need it right away. Plus 6, you can see here, she already gets crit rate and attack boost, so that's when I advise people to stop. But even plus 5 is good if you just need another sandbag, because she does get damage reduction, which is really good. So what exactly makes Walya a top tier support? She doesn't give irremovable buffs like Michaela and Vinaka, like Stella. She doesn't give absurdly strong buff either. If you look at Michaela's skills, she gives a lot more attack and she actually gives crit damage. And her third skill, which becomes irremovable after you skill her up sufficiently, is also unremovable, and that increases her attack, crit damage, and crit rate too. So she does give a lot more buffs than Walya's, and they're all irremovable. They're all irremovable. Well, the thing is, Walya gets taunt, and this is extremely good because if you guys don't already know, supports don't take up a turn. So for example, using Aaron or Seir would let the enemy DPS attack first. But if you use Walya, you can chain to a warrior and attack while having taunt up. This means you can mess up the enemy DPS line while keeping yours safe. This also is the reason why stuff like Asmode is great because he doesn't take up a turn. Seir and Aaron's taunt can also be nullified by Mamonir, who has buff prohibition, so you get wrecked by Mamo Ain users. There aren't a lot of those though. Alright, by the way, Mamo Ain users are really annoying. Don't do that. Don't do that. Alright? What else do we have with Walya? What else? Oh yeah, her base HP is really strong. It's really tanky. And her third skill gives her a bit of damage reduction at plus 5. Take note that in top tier she will almost always be one shot by DPSs, but in lower tier she can probably survive if she procs her Agi, or like if the enemy DPS isn't set up properly or skilled up sufficiently. She copies enemies' buffs as well, which is great, but just to reiterate, in high tier she usually gets one shot or she doesn't get hit at all. That's how it works. Her buffs last 24 turns too, which is great because that means even if she dies round 1, which is how she's normally used, she is still useful until round 2 because her buffs aren't gone. Her main value is in her taunt though. Like, she taunts without eating up a turn. That's really good. You have to take note that the taunt doesn't last very long. It's 8 turns, so you have to chain her late into your support chaining. If you do that, I chain her to warriors, or I try to make the chain short as much as I can. So yeah. Alright, so the normal way Walya is used is to eat one warrior attack round 1, but you can also use her to absorb AoE from levia or Velfern in round 2. The way you do this is look at my my formation. Mamonir is the first one to attack, and he has taunt from John. So all you have to do is place a taunt in a higher taunt priority than Walya. You can see Walya has the lowest taunt priority out of my 3 taunters, so that's just how you do it. Why don't I just let Walya die round 1? It's really simple. Mamonir can tank. She won't die half the time. Walya will 100% die. So if I let Walya tank round 2 against a levia, my Mamonir is still alive, and Mamonir has a lot more value. If you don't know, this Mamonir cannot survive plus 10 levia. Plus 10 Mamonir, no matter what ruins, can't survive plus 10 levia, alright? Now for her supporting capabilities. Walya has 4 tiles starting from the front, which is great. It fits the 2-line formation a lot better. She does not give crit damage, but her attack and crit rate buffs, which scale off her defense, are pretty decent, and she pairs great with Sirius, Narissa, Arines, anyone really. Even Vinaka, Michaela, she pairs with a lot of good units. So in general, I like to keep 2 offensive supports, or 3 if my deck is really aggressive. So Walya is kind of a mix of both. She's defensive and offensive. At lower skill levels, she's just a sandbag, but at higher skill levels, she gives a bit of crit rate and actual attack at +6 onwards. So my arena right now, I use 1 offensive support and 2 mixed supports, which are Walya and Eindolin, and 1 defensive, which is John. If you're relatively new to the game, skill Walya up to +6. If you don't have Walya yet, wait for the free +9 event. I don't know when it is, but you essentially get a free +9 of every type, excluding mages, when you complete the event. You also get a +9 devil too, which is really nice. Excluding Cecilia, because why not? So, you might say, why not just get Michaela? Why not just get Stella, who are rank 1 and rank 2 respectively in Korea? I already mentioned in some of my videos, don't go for something right away just because it's higher ranked. Wilhelmina is another example of a top ranked warrior you shouldn't get right away as a new player. Stella and Mitch are great, and removal supports are indispensable, while Walya is dispensable for some formations. But only in top tier arena. When you're low tier, you definitely need Walya. You have to understand though, Mitch and Stella are good because they counter stats, enhancement nullifier, and buff removal. A lot of units like levia, Mamonir, Cecilia, and Velasir have this, but you probably won't encounter these stat enhancement nullifier units at high skill levels, which is where they get their enhancement nullifier. So you won't need stats removal immunity right away, so Walya is the more immediate need, a tank and support rolled in one. Also, how do you say this? Walya is cheap. She at +10, she's really cheap. Michaela and Stella, they're super expensive, so you have to consider that. I spent 15k diamonds for Cecilia. I didn't get her still, so yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.